Good, good morning, everybody. Happy 4th of July. I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting live from Morelia, Mexico. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. Got a lot to share with you this morning, and we're broadcasting live at 10 a.m. Central Time. We do this every Saturday. Been doing it for about 2.5 years. If you're new here, this is our first broadcast from Morelia, Mexico, in the center of Mexico. I'm going to show you my Airbnb. I'm going to share with you the neighborhood that I'm staying in. And if you're new here, feel free to ask any questions, though I'll be talking a lot about my trip and how I got here, what that was like. I did find an apartment. I signed the contract yesterday. I'm going to share with you what that was like. And got a couple of cameras here. We got our whole camera set up. Here you can see the lovely kitchen that I'm in. It's a beautiful Airbnb. But let's check out comments and see who's in here. Let's see who showed up real early. Was none other than William Stone, man. And I checked Facebook this morning and I saw a picture of you and your partner eating dinner. Well, I don't know where you were. Looking good. We got Jamie in the house. Hola, Jamie. And thanks for confirming. When I signed in this morning, the computer said, go live now. Because I'm in a different time zone. Now I'm Pacific time. No, I'm not. I was California time. Now I'm Mountain time. So I changed time zones, and that kind of threw me off this morning. So bear with me, but I've got all my equipment all set up, and I think I'm ready to go. I'm one light down, so it's a little dark this morning. Dennis Hassler's here. Thank you, Dennis, so much. Morelia is so great. Years back, there was a cartel activity in Northwest Michoacan. So I avoided the area, but hope to explore that part of Mexico. I'm enjoying it thus far. We have many people in the house early. We got Char Williams in the house. Hey, yes, I had a safe trip. Hot in Philly. Wait till I tell you about the weather here. And Matt Brazelton. Yeah, Matt, I am so happy. Oh, this weather is awesome. This weather is awesome. I mean, it's so fresh and cool and clean. It's so nice. And at nighttime, I don't have to turn on any air conditioning. If you walk around in the daytime and in the sun, I take my umbrella, but if you're in the shade, it's nice and no humidity. The weather is fantastic. The weather is so much better than that hot and humid, sweaty Mazatlan weather. Oh, Mary Jane, love Mary Jane. Great to see you in the house. Angela from Michigan is in the house. Great to see you here with Keith. Hannah, sound. Sound is good and video quality, Bill. Thank you so much, Jamie. I've got this is a different setup I'm in. This Airbnb has internet. It only has 50 meg, but that's upload and download speed, which is a little different. David, my new neighbor. It's a beautiful morning. Hope you had a safe trip. Yes, I did, David. David, I'm in your town. We will hook up at some point. Ken Art, hola, Morelia. Bill, Ken Art, great to see you in the house. And we have Jacqueline. She's calling me my Mexico name, Mamo. And who's here? None other than the super stranger. And that would be that girl. That girl, like the TV show, you got that girl on TV. That's the way she is. And she's the one that actually turned me on to Morelia. When we used to go to Walmart, and she lived a half block away in Mazatlan. We go to Walmart like once, twice a month. And she told me, Bill, you ought to check out Morelia. So I did. And I got to say, she's probably the big reason that I got here. Keith Hanna. Any news about Granny? No, I haven't heard from Granny in quite some time. Liston Henry, hello, Bill. Welcome to Morelia. Liston, I'm glad to be here. And Dominique, hola, Dominique, you looking good. Bear Lane. Oh, Bear Lane is here from Vancouver, Canada. Great to see you in the house. And La Dulce Vita is in the house. Yeah, I made it. I'm here. Miss Sam, I'm in your city, girl. I'm in your city. I talked with Miss Sam on the telephone 2 or 3 weeks ago. Fabulous conversation. We'll have to hook up, go to coffee or breakfast. She's a vegan. You know, you can have like you can have some lettuce, and I'm going to have some greasy bacon and eggs and all things greasy. I might even have some spare ribs. Ooh. Edith, good morning. Ola, good morning. Even the buck stops here is in the house. Hola, amigos. Wouldn't miss this episode for anything. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. And thank you. I'm going to call her PJ. Jacqueline, thank you for donating to the channel. That'll help me pay for my Airbnb and my first month's rent. Thank you so much. And though I'm going to talk about Morelia this morning, if you're new here, I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting live from Morelia, Mexico. And for those of you that don't know where Morelia is, here is a map. And you can see that Morelia is in the center of the map right here. Morelia. Let's zoom in a little bit. There it is right here. Right here, Morelia. It's right in the center. And you can see to the east of it, you can see Mexico City. And you can see Puerto Vallarta over here on the west coast. Where is and Mazatlan is north of Morelia. So it was a 20-hour bus ride episode to get here. So, okay, let's see who else is in the house real quick. We got Milou in the house. Good morning. Yes, I made it, Bear Lane. Glad you. Thank you, Bear Lane. She thinks so. She speaks. Watching from sunny Merida. Thank God. Dissipated by the time it reached us. Thank God I saw that news broadcast. I saw the news broadcast last night, and the hurricane path went right. The path of the hurricane went right over Merida, right through it. And I thought that town would get wiped out. And that's another good thing about living in the middle of Mexico. I'm not going to see no more hurricanes. Hurricanes don't play. But I'm so happy you are safe. I was thinking about you last night. The weather in Morelia sounds divine, and it is. Stefan, good to hear you landed in one piece. Angela, it is great to be here again. Angela, I'm so happy that you're here. Forward to learning more today. I got stuff to say. Today. And look, Chris, my man, in the house. Thank you, Chris. David. Oh, Costco has pretty good ribs. And you ever see king crab legs? When I was in Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara at Costco, sometimes I would have king's crab legs. But to get enough to have a good meal, you have to spend like $100. But I'm good for that like twice a year. Costco there. Lenora, yes, I made it safe and sound. And Amma Ram, thank you very much, Anna. Deborah in the house. Good morning. I made it And we got we got Char Williams. And I talked with Char about 2 weeks ago on the phone. Great conversation. Oh yeah, and thank you for contributing to the channel. That will help me fund my Airbnb where I am right now. I'm broadcasting from the Airbnb. I move into my new apartment Monday. So let's talk about the trip. Oh, look who's here. Look who's here. Katrina the Maker is in the house. Great to see you here, girl. Kim J. Hola, Kim. Great to see you here. We have 79 people in the house. Feel free to click that like button if your fingers are free. Okay. I got some notes here. Right off the top of the bat, I'd like to say I'm going to thank the universe for good internet this morning. We got electricity. The computers are working. I had to switch them over. The cameras are working. Everything is good. I thank the universe that all is going well this morning from the Airbnb. Okay. And the trip here on the bus, let's talk about the bus. I took a bus line called Elite, and it was the worst bus experience that I've had in Mexico. I mean, I've been on buses hundreds of times in Mexico. And just last week, somebody asked me, well, do they have bathrooms? And I told them, oh yeah, the bathrooms, all of them have wonderful bathrooms and they're very clean and the toilets flush. Well, on this trip, none of that was true. The bathrooms were like a bad, your worst nightmare gas station where you go in there and you look in the toilet and you see like 50 people have been there before you and that the toilet didn't flush. 20 hours of that. Yeah, 20 hours of that. Then my bus was supposed to leave. And I tell you, I'm very confused right now because I was on a bus for like 20 hours. The bus showed up 3 hours late. It was supposed to leave at 9 o'clock. It didn't leave until midnight. That delayed my arrival from noon to 4 o'clock. And the Airbnb guy was going to be at the Airbnb at noon. I had to contact him and shift all of that around. Let me show you the bus ride here. Okay. Then when I bought my ticket, I got 2 seats on the front of the bus. I got two tickets at the front of the bus, and I asked the lady, well, I don't know, because sometimes if you get a ticket on the front of the bus, many times the bus drivers play music like really loud. And yeah, they have a barrier there between the people and the bus drivers, that they have the bus drivers are in their own little room. But you can hear the music, and a lot of times it's banda and mariachi music, which I'm not real fond of. Okay. But the lady behind the counter, she says, no, there's a separation. You won't, even if they play music, you won't be able to hear it. But check this out. This is the first time I ever saw this. I'm sitting in my seat. There's no door between me and the bus driver. You can see he's eating his chips or whatever he's eating there. And but he didn't play any music. They had 2 bus drivers. And, and then it rained. It rained for most of the trip. And most of the trip was at nighttime. Most of the trip was at nighttime. Here's when the sun has come up. It was a beautiful journey, but it was just way too long. So we went from Mazatlan We went from Mazatlan to Tepic, which is between Mazatlan and Guadalajara. And if you ever take a bus and you have to go through Guadalajara, it always takes like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours to get through Guadalajara, maybe 4 hours, because they stop at like 3 or 4 different bus stations in Guadalajara. Then sometimes they service the bus, so that means you have to get off the bus and wait. And just to be brief, the reason that I took the bus is I had so much stuff. It would have cost me like $800-900 on the airplane, but it only cost me $100 for 2 seats. They didn't charge me for luggage, which they should have. They would have made a lot of money if they charged me for luggage. But the scenery, I got to say that the scenery was beautiful. Oh, and the buses, yeah, they have Wi-Fi, and you could watch movies. Some young Mexican woman was sitting in the seat next to me, and she was enjoying movies the entire way there. I think she had the hots for me, but you can see how green everything is when you're not looking at a truck. But look, beautiful clouds and green fields, and this is as we're getting closer to Morelia, and the beautiful mountains. And some people say, "Hey, what about the ocean? Are you going to miss the ocean?" No, I'm not going to miss the ocean. Look at all these beautiful green mountains. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ride, looking through the windows and looking at the we're getting very close at this point to Morelia. At this time, we're probably about an hour and a half out, and we get to see many different shops and going through, and look at all this equipment for farmers. Massey Ferguson tractors and Kenworth trucks. I mean, these people are using all the super modern Kenworth, using all the super modern equipment to be driving on the road. It was cool. I got one more shot of the trip. There you go. These people don't play with their Mack trucks. They're out there. They're for real. Industry. They got all kinds of chemical plants. It was interesting, but I'm going to tell you, I will never, ever, ever take a bus ride on Elite ever again. And they have 2 kinds of buses. You can see them. One type that it's a white bus and it says Elite Select. I think these are the older buses. Then most of the buses, I've never been on one, but they're green and shiny and they look new. I wasn't on one of those buses, but the trip was terrible. And I'm just going to show you the driver one more time. So I'm sitting here, and the driver to the right of him, he had his girlfriend over them giving him grapes and food and stuff like that. Then I saw him pull out a cigarette. Yeah, he pulled out a cigarette, opened it, and he smoked 2 or 3 cigarettes on the trip. I have never seen that ever. I've never, ever seen that. I've never seen a bus driver. Of course, I've never been able to see the bus driver before. Maybe sometimes they're up there like snorting cocaine and stuff like that. So let's get back here and see what's going on. Gillian, felicidades from the Bahamas. Gillian, a Bahama Mama. Great to see you here. We got Brian Maiden in the house this morning. Yeah, the trip, the thing, and Brian, thank you so much for the wonderful Canadian dollar housewarming gift. Oh, I tell you what, man, traveling, I'm in bed. I'm trying to figure out, where am I? What day is it? What time do I have to be somewhere? And I tell you something else. The bus situation, when I arrived in Morelia, I had like 3 big suitcases. All of them weighed like 150 pounds. Then I had my desktop computer in a box. Then I've got my backpack. So I know that once I get off of the bus, I've got to get all of those suitcases to the taxi stand. And on a good day, they have a little man that helps you take all your stuff off of the bus. But they didn't have that in Mazatlan. I had to take each bag one by one at a time. It was a hustle, man. But thank God. And then in Morelia is the only bus station I know of that to get a taxi, you have to go to this little taxi booth. You have to go to the taxi booth, tell them where you're going, and then you pay the lady at the taxi booth. She gives you a piece of paper, and then you go out where the taxis are, and the taxis take you where you're going. Okay. I've never seen a bus station anywhere in Mexico that does that. But fortunately, the little man took my bags off the bus. He took them out to where the taxis were, told me where to go get my bus pass or my taxi pass. And then the guy put all of my luggage in the taxi and went right to the Airbnb. Woo! That was a mofo. That was a real mofo. And then I was when I was on the bus, me and the Airbnb owner, we were texting each other on my phone. He says, "Where are you? Where are?" He let me know when you're 30 minutes away. Okay. So we went back and forth. Then he showed up there when I got there. Gave me my keys, and it all worked out. Everything worked out just fine. Lenora Wilson. Oh no, Bill. I'm so sorry that happened. It was terrible. I mean, and then like when you're on the bus that long, your body has to do some weird things to be okay. My body is still sore from all those weird positions I was sitting in. Woo, man, woo. But we made it. It's all good. Axel Foley is in the house. Hi, Bill. Just jumping on your show at 11:15 a.m. and it looked like your bus ride. Hey, but if I was taking this trip and all I had was like one bag, if I just had like one bag, my usual, I've got one bag, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you have one bag and a backpack, okay, that you can be very flexible like that. But when you have 350-pound bags and a desktop computer and that, that makes everything a little bit more complicated. So the good thing is I didn't have to change buses anywhere and move all of that around. Got here, everything is good to go. I'm good to go. Let's click that like. Yeah, Brian Maiden. Let's not click the like button. Let's smash the like button. And if you're new here, I'm talking about this move to Morelia, but that's not important. If you're new here, ask any questions about living in Mexico. I've been here for about 20 years now. I've lived in various places, and it's all been good. Loving those views. Do they produce any wine in Mexico or just beer and tequila? I'm sure they do produce wine, but I haven't really experienced that. But I'm sure that they make Mexicans make anything to make money. And if they can grow grapes, they can make wine. I'm sure they do. I'm not aware of that. I'll only take ADO or SOAR, and both were so clean and good. I got to say that ETN is a good bus line, and Premier Plus. Yes. Okay. Lenora Wilson, what happened to Bill? I joined late. Ola, you joined late. You have to watch the replay, but happy to see you here. Sandra, congratulations on your new home. Thank you, Sandra. Let's see. That girl, thanks for sharing that experience. They are removed from any consideration I would give them. Yeah, take them off the list. Bill, it's only going to get better from here on. You are a soldier and adaptable. Thank you, Axel Foley. Why didn't you take the ADO? Okay, now, that's another thing. When I did my search for direct buses from Mazatlan to Morelia, there were only 2 bus lines that did the whole trip. One was Futura, and the other one was Elite. If I used a different bus line, I could have done it, but I would have probably had to go to Guadalajara, change buses, and with all that luggage, I didn't want to go through that. I didn't want to go through all of that. We have, Kim J, thank you. Okay, there you go. And that's the great thing about when we go live. I've been around, I've seen a lot of stuff, but many people in this chat, in this broadcast know more than me and Kim J. Thank for sharing, and as a group, we get this all done. James and Rena, thanks. James and Rena, really? Okay, is James and Rena in the house? I haven't seen James and Rena forever. Just did a 40-hour drive back to Vancouver from La Paz. Yes. Oh, 40-hour drive. Woo, yeah, that's a truck, baby. 40 hours to Vancouver from La Paz. I bet when you hit your destination, you were happy as a clam. So I have some notes. Let's share with you what my neighborhood looks like here. I'm on the second floor. I'm on the second floor of this Airbnb, and the guy that his family owns the Airbnb, he helped me find an apartment, and he was looking around. He gave me like 5 choices. And then this one looked pretty good. So we went to see it yesterday, and I signed a contract with Ortega and his assistant, Israel. And Israel speaks fluent Spanish. And I got the apartment for 8,900 pesos a month. And at today's rate, that's about $491. So my rent's going down from about $800 a month to about $490 a month. 1 bedroom, 2 bathrooms, nice view of the city. But I signed that contract yesterday at 11 o'clock in the morning. The Airbnb owner came over and picked me up, took me to the place. I met Arturo and Israel, and I will move into that. My time runs out in this Airbnb Monday morning at 11 o'clock. So I'll have all my stuff packed up, go right to my new place to stay. And they have a guy that's going to take all my stuff up to where my apartment is. And then I can just go back to making videos again. Woo! I tell you what, man, moving is a mofo. I tell you what, moving is a real mofo. And for those of you that don't know what mofo is, go to billthegeek.org, and under FAQs, I have a list of soul brother terms to help you out. Okay, Jamie, I'm going to have to look that up right now. I know. Okay, when I went and signed the contract yesterday, when I left, I walked down. Okay. Another thing, my apartment owner, he lives next door, and his associate Israel lives next door with him. So we go into his house. He has a huge house that we go into his office that's in the house next door to the apartment building and sign all these papers and all this kind of stuff. And I told him, well, is there a bank around here? And blah, blah, blah. They said, yeah. So they said, look, we'll take you to the bank. So we're all done. All the papers are signed. I'm going take all my stuff over there Monday at 11. But so we get, their car is in the garage. So they had a really nice house decked out with really nice furniture. We open a door, we go into the garage, and I get in the back seat of this car. I didn't know what kind of car it was. And the back seat, it was an SUV. The back seat was kind of messy, but it wasn't dirty messy. It had some like empty shopping bags, nice shopping bags. I had to move those out of the way for me to get into the back. So I'm in the back seat, and then they start the car up. Israel is driving, and the car started up, and the dashboard all lit up, and the dashboard looked like you were on a Star Wars spaceship. I'd never seen anything like this ever. It was like you were on the deck of Stargate Enterprise Galactica or something. All these screens, a big screen across the middle, and over. I think you have to take lessons to learn how to start this car up. But then I looked at the steering wheel. It was a Mercedes. I asked the guy, what year car is it? Oh, it's a 2021 Mercedes. But anyway, they're very friendly people. I think they're going to be like family with me, live right next door to my apartment. So I've been babbling. Let's see now. Okay, Bear Lane. Good for you. That's a great price for an apartment. Yes. Yes, that's right in my budget. Works very well. What part of Morelia are you in? I'll update you guys on that next week. I have the address here. I could look it up on Google Maps. But right now, anyway, the reason I brought up the Mercedes is about a 3 or 4 minute drive from the apartment. It's a super mall, and they've got all the big mall clothing and everything you have at a big mall. They have like 4 or 5 banks in there, a Chili's and other places like that. Okay. So I go to the bank, get some money out of the money machine. Then I took a DD to back here to the Airbnb. So you guys are saying, well, what part of town are you in? They say it's one of the best parts of town to be in. But anyway, DD, to get from my apartment or from the bank, which is like a 2 or 3 minute drive from the apartment, it took like 10 minutes to get to El Centro. And that cost me like, it was like 40 pesos. That's like $2. I can do that. So it's not far from El Centro. I'd say it's a hike if you walk. David, let me know if you need a ride to your new place. Oh man, that's so cool. I won't bother you on Monday morning. I'll just get a DD They'll just come, throw the stuff in. I'm good. Thank you very much. And looky here, James and Rena in the house. They were probably one of the first people to subscribe to the channel. They live in Ajijic, though actually the place they live in is called San Antonio, which is between the cities of Chapala and Ajijic. August 1st makes 2 full-time in Ajijic. Could not be more happy and living. SOB. Could not be more happy on living. SOB. James and Rena, congratulations. We go way back. We go way back because 2 years ago, so this must have been about 2.5 years ago, they came, they looked around, they needed a place to keep their luggage. So I watched their luggage for like a month or 2 months. They came back. Then they bought their house. And congratulations. 2 wonderful people, James and Rena. We go way back. La Doce Vita, I'm so excited for you. I'll be in Morelia around the first week of September. Would you recommend? Oh, I would definitely recommend this Airbnb. It was a little pricey. It was a little pricey, but it is the bomb. The location is fabulous, and it's like 2 bedrooms. It has 2 bedrooms, 1 king size bed, 2 queen size beds, which is a bit of an overkill, but 2 big screen televisions, though I don't watch television. But I mean, this place is the bomb. I mean, it's awesome. It's on the 2nd floor. And I'm going to show you the neighborhood. I'm going to show you the neighborhood that I'm in a second. Steve from Kansas City. Have you heard that if you put 10,000 USD in an account in Mexico, that you're in big trouble with penalties? Yes, and that's why I don't put any money in any banks in Mexico. Never have, never will. SOB, I was wondering about thanks, James. I was wondering about that SOB. I wasn't quite sure what it meant. Okay, so let's show you the neighborhood that I'm in. Okay, so let's go outside first. That is the entrance where those 2 people just walked by. And right there where that shop is, my apartment or my Airbnb is right up there. So I walk through this little shop and look at what is next door, a McDonald's. Yep, right next door to my Airbnb is a McDonald's. Can you believe it? Whatever. It's on a really nice street. And looky here, big streets. I forget what time I'm taking this. Is during the week. Oh, look, and right half a block from McDonald's. Looky here, what is this? It's none other than KFC. Sure, why not? Why not? But I tell you, I would never go to KFC because last time I went there, I had serious bathroom problems for about 48 hours. So I haven't been to KFC in about 15 years. Probably won't go back. Okay. Now one of the really cool things about El Centro. Look at these buildings. Look at these buildings. They just have blocks and blocks and blocks. I mean, even KFC and McDonald's are in these 400, 500-year-old buildings. And this is what El Centro is like. I mean, look at these buildings. It's just, and look at the people. Um, and people get around, and Ms. Sam was talking about this with us in previous broadcast, that people get around in those little vans right there. They call. Oh, wait, let me stop that. Ooh, let's check out some of the scenery. Ooh, look at and look at the young people. But that van right there, they call them combis, and they only cost like 10 pesos. That's like 50 cents. You can see 3 of them on the left-hand side of the screen over there cruising through. I don't understand the process. Miss Sam understands it much more better than I do. You can see 2 more. There's another one on the left-hand side of the screen. And all kinds of course, wonderful Mexican food. And here and look at the people. And these are young people. And these are, you see people of all ages. And she has an umbrella, which is very natural because it gets very hot. But you see people my age, you see young people, you see children, you see more young people. This is not what it was like when I was living in Mazatlan. All kinds of wonderful little side streets, more people walking, just walking around, lots of college students. This is not what I saw in Mazatlan. Of course, Mazatlan, Morelia has more young people. Here's somebody my age. Here's somebody younger than me. I love people younger than me. Here's a family, a guy with his child, children. We didn't see hardly any children in Mazatlan. I like diversity when it comes to ages. I like young people, but it's been really cool. And then I saw this bus tour. I guess I'll have to take the bus tour. Whatever. It's going to be in Spanish, but everybody on the bus looked happy. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about Morelia. But my new landlord, Israel, he's young and fluently speaks Spanish, and I'm sure he'll show me around in their fabulous Mercedes spaceship SUV. Let's go back over here to comments and see what's going on here. Here we go. Okay, south of the border. I got that one. Steve, I have a big kitty. Have you known anyone bringing a big kitty there? How'd they get the kitty there? Oh, yeah, well, if you fly down, you just put the big kitty in one of those little kennels, and then they put the kennel down with the dead people, and you don't have a problem. Not a problem. James and Rena, I use Mexican banks, no problem. Bought a house and car cash and have a checking account and transfer USD to the MX bank. Makes life easy having a Mexican bank account. Good for you. Good for you. That's good to know. I think my landlord in Puerto Vallarta, he was an American. And yeah, he had Mexican bank accounts, shifted his money around, and everything was good. Very good. Right on. David, I think you're pretty close to, yes, right now I am. When I look out of my bedroom window, I can see the top of the cathedral. Yes, I'm like 2 blocks away from the cathedral. I'm right in the middle of El Centro. A lot of graffiti. What is up with that? Well, there's not really a lot. I showed you some, but if you walk around, you don't see hardly any. Is there an IHOP there? Please tell me I can get a better American breakfast there than McDonald's. There's all kinds. There are so many breakfast people. There are so many breakfast places around, and this is all Mexican foods, and Mexicans love breakfast. So you can find hundreds and thousands of Mexican restaurants for desayuno. That is what they call breakfast down here, where you can get everything that you omelets, pancakes. Mexicans love pancakes, scrambled eggs, fried eggs, bacon, if you want that. We have hash brown potatoes. The only thing that's kind of weird about Mexico is getting your toast and getting that on time, like with the meal. Okay. The architecture looks gorgeous. Love the yes. It's often, and again, the weather is fabulous. I can't say enough about the weather. Nice big sidewalks. It looks so clean. Yes, thus far it's been very clean, big giant sidewalks. Well, Ms. Sam, welcome to our beautiful city, Bill. Yes, I'm definitely in El Centro. I'm like 2 blocks away from El Centro. Mary Jane, I heard that the cathedral shoots off fireworks on Saturday evening. I have no clue about that. Yes, there is at least one IHOP that I know of. That's funny. That's funny. They have an IHOP. I tell you, man, life is hilarious. I hope I didn't miss the part about how you did find a long-term rental so fast. Okay. Well, okay. The way I found this place is not a method that I really wanted to use. I had an apartment all lined up. I found that apartment in about 10 hours. And I found that place about 6 months ago. But then my landlord to be started acting kind of what I found to be kind of rude and distant. And the landlord that I had for the last 2 years spoiled me. Her name is Gabby. She lives in Durango. If I emailed her or called her, she'd get back with me in like 5 minutes. And this guy, so I just told him, that's off. And he found me when I posted on Facebook. And the way I found that apartment was, I went to Facebook. I said, I'm looking for this. I'm willing to pay this much money. This is what I'm looking for. And I found a place in 10 hours using that method. I've done 2 or 3 videos on how to do that. So I didn't want to, and then he found me and he contacted me. So I didn't want to use that same method because I didn't want him to know what I was doing anymore. So in this method, what I did was I found the Airbnb, and once I found the Airbnb, I asked the Airbnb guy, I said, hey, I'm looking for an apartment. Can you help me find one? And so he helped me find an apartment. Airbnb people know other real estate people, and many times they own numerous Airbnbs. And Miss Sam was telling me that she was in an Airbnb before she got her apartment here. And she told me that the family at that Airbnb wanted her to stay there. And she said they were a family, very friendly, and they didn't want her to leave the Airbnb. So anyway, I found my apartment through my Airbnb owner. That's what I did. Okay, here we go. Bill, how did you get so much luggage on your bus? Was there a limit on how much you could bring, and did they charge you extra? Would be handy to know. Very good question. Okay. I was worried about that. Because when I bought my bus ticket, I told the lady at Elite when I bought the bus ticket, I bought the bus ticket like 4 days ahead of time. And just for your information, I travel using the Mexico Senior Citizens discount card. So if you go to get a bus ticket and you want to get half off, but you get there that day when the bus is leaving like an hour ahead of time, well, if 4 or 5 other people have already used the discount, then you can't use yours because that's the limit for the bus. Thus, I got my bus ticket like 4 days ahead of time, just FYI. So when I got my bus ticket 4 days ahead of time, I asked the lady, I said, well, I have like 4 big bags and a desktop computer that I'm taking. But I bought 2 bus tickets. I bought 2 bus tickets. And she said that the limit for luggage on the bus for one person was 55 pounds. 55 pounds. Okay, so I know 2 of my bags were probably 300 pounds. Throw on another bag, it was like 450 pounds. But I mean, at the bus station, they don't even have a scale to weigh anything. And when the guy was putting the bags on the bus, here's what happens. You've got your ticket. When you show up, you go to the counter and they tell you what the bus number is. Every bus has a number that is on the bus. Like this bus was like 1064. Exactly. That's what it was. It was bus number. It was Elite. Bus number 1064. So when you get to the bus station, they tell you, okay, you're looking for bus number 1064, and you can find it at gate 12. Okay. All right. Okay. So, okay. Oh, okay. So then you go at the time, maybe 15 minutes ahead of time, you go there, the bus is there, and you have your ticket and you show it to this guy that's going to put your stuff on the bus. And then what happens? Okay. So the guy puts your stuff on the bus. Then for everything you put on the bus, he gives you a different ticket. It's like a receipt. He gives you 4 little receipts, and each little receipt has a little number on it. And then he takes another receipt and puts it on that piece of luggage that corresponds to your luggage. So you keep the little receipts throughout your trip. And then when you're done, you get off the bus. Now you're 20 hours down the road. You got a new little man taking your stuff off the bus. You give him those tickets, and then you can point and say, oh, it's that one, that one, that one, and that one. And he looks at your tickets, looks at the tickets on the luggage, and that's how you get your stuff off the bus. So they told me that per person, there was a 55-pound limit. I bought 2 tickets, but I'm sure I had like 450 pounds, which is 350 pounds over. But nobody checked number of items or the weight of anything. They had no scale to be seen anywhere. So I don't know if that was a fluke experience, but the same thing happened with Ms. Sam. Ms. Sam said she took the bus from Guadalajara to Morelia, and she said she had too many bags, but they didn't charge her. So as far as getting charged for luggage on the bus line, I think it depends on what line you're with, what day is it, what hour it is it raining, and is there a full moon? There you go. Ha! Gin and Juice. Hi, everyone. Bill came across your channel while searching for expats in Mexico, retiring in 2 years. I'm looking for a place outside the U.S. to retire so I can lay back and drink my gin and juice. I've been here almost 20 years, gin and juice. I love it down here. I'm never going back to the United States. James and Reno will tell you. Miss Sam will tell you. Anybody that's living down here, it's fabulous down here. And this new move to Morelia, this climate is freaking me out because it's so not humid. And last night I went to bed and I just had a sheet over me and I got chilly. So I had to put a blanket over me last night. It's July with no air conditioning. Is fabulous. But I live inland. I live inland at a high in a high elevation. It's wonderful down here. Everybody's different. Some people like heat and humidity. I don't. So there you go. Come on down. You're only charged penalties if you don't report large sums of money. You must be talking about banks. Yes. Okay. Is there an Independence Day or something similar to ours? When is it? They have 2 Independence Days here. And let's just let me just I'm in Google here. I'm just going to type in Mexico national holidays. There you go. Mexico national holidays, public holidays. How many? Here you go. Mandated federal holidays in Mexico. Here we go. It's coming up right now. Okay, here we go. Okay. On the first Monday of February, they have Constitution Day. And then on the 16th of September, they have Independence Day. And you'll see in I think in almost any city that you live in Mexico, many cities are called September 16th, named after Independence Day. And then on the 3rd Monday of November every year, they have Revolution Day. So there's a difference between Independence Day and Revolution Day, but you could kind of say that Independence Day and Revolution Days are both kind of days of independence, but historically very different. Yes, they do have fireworks on Saturday night, and that would be tonight. Thank you very much, David, who lives here. Kim J. Morelia is so close to where I live. I have to jump on a bus and visit the area. Yeah, get an Airbnb near El Centro, even if you pay a bit. I'm paying kind of a high price, but I wanted 4 or 5 luxury nights. I'm having 4 or 5 luxury nights. It's been this moving and packing, and am I going to get my rent deposit money back? All that kind of stuff, and taking the bus here, get the Airbnb, find all that's really stressful. So I wanted a place that was really nice, but get a nice Airbnb near El Centro, and you'll be very happy. Welcome. See how friendly we are here. And if you're new here, see all these friendly people, join us. Hit the subscribe button, click the like button. We have 104 people in the house. We have 49 likes. Some people are even contributing to the channel so I can stay here for another month. Okay, James and Rita, time to start drinking tequila. And James has found his favorite type of tequila. I don't remember the name. September 15th. Okay, September 15th. I believe that's September 16th. Mary Jane, are you feeling the effects in the increase of elevation? No. Well, okay. In a good way, I'm going to say yes, because it's cooler and there's no humidity or very little humidity. It's fabulous. It's wonderful. I'm totally enjoying it. It's great. Let's go back over here. Okay, your climate is called dry and temperate, and in the Tierra Templada zone of that, due to elevation. Apparently, the key is high elevation to avoid the coastal humidity and not hot. Very good. Thank you for that clarification. Miss Sam, I have a Mexican bank account. I use it to pay my rent. It is so easy to transfer my rent payment to my landlord's bank. The banks are very professional and thorough, so it's also very safe. Very good. I'm glad you're having that wonderful experience. Bill, I will be at the firework tonight, so if you go, you might run into me. Oh, very cool. Right on, Ms. Sam. Let's go back and share some more images here. Okay, now I got to show you this. What I'm going to show you now is about, this is about 3 blocks from where I live. Here we go. Let's take a peek at, looky there. Looky there in that 400-year-old building. They have Little Caesars Pizza. And if I'm not mistaken, this is at like 8:30 in the morning. Little Caesars Pizza, and within 3 blocks, there are like 5 different pizza places. And look at all the banks. There's a Farmacia Guadalajara right there. That's a huge business in Mexico. Then they have this burger place, Dos Hamburguesas. That's 2 hamburgers for 70 pesos. That's $3.50. La Poblanita Taqueria. There you go. Lots of restaurants, not too many junk shops like some of the big cities that I've been in. There you go. Just looking around. Yeah, just walking around and I think that trip I was going to find. Oh, okay. Then I found this place. The Lasagna Factory. You'll see it here in a minute. Lasagna. Sure, I had to go in. I love lasagna. And they had 3 types of lasagna. They have vegetarian, tuna, then Italian, like Italiano. There you go. A lasagna. So I did actually buy some of that, and it was okay. I still have and they have hot cakes and eggs the way that you like them. So you can go get lasagna or breakfast. But I was really, I was surprised. I was surprised that so many pizza places open at like 8:30 in the morning. That was weird. People, and if they weren't making money at 8:30 in the morning, they wouldn't be open. I guess a lot of people down here eat pizza for breakfast. I've never seen that before. Gin and juice. Bill, as you walk by people in Morelia and look into their faces, what kind of vibes are you getting? Good. I just burped. Sorry about that. That is a very good question, and that is on my list of things to talk about. I'm going to say in Mazatlan, if you walk around almost anywhere in town, and you're going to get eye contact with a lot of people. I want to say like 70% of people, strangers that you don't know, are going to look you in the eye And most of the time, those people are going to say, hola, hola. I walk around Mazatlan and people just say, hola, hola, hola. Some people might say, how you doing? What's up? What's happening? In Morelia, I don't know if it's the population because it's like 3 times the population of Mazatlan, but there's not a lot. There's like no eye contact, not like Mazatlan. It's like I'm learning just in a couple of days not to do it. I just don't do it. There's not eye contact here, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that's just the city. I don't know. So in Mazatlan, I look at people, I say hello. But every place I've been in for any type of business transaction, like I went to ask the taco lady, the lasagna lady. The lasagna place is kind of a bar and a restaurant. And they had this young girl who's the bartender. So I was asking her about the lasagna. She was very friendly, very bubbly. So I went back there the next day to order the lasagna, to order some. And so I had to wait for the lasagna. And then she had another bartender behind the bar with her. And they were very friendly and very nice. I've been to OXO a few times. I've been to a couple of restaurants. People are always very nice and friendly once you make contact with them. So the vibe is good. Autumn Green in the house. Great to see you, Autumn. We haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Will you notice that the elevation increases your metabolism? Oh, you will. You will notice that the elevation increases your metabolism. So it's easier to lose weight, or you can eat more. Thank you very much for that tip. Much of an art scene there, mask and sculpture and more. Yeah, it's a great place. When I was looking at Airbnbs, lots of complaints about noise. But there were all in Central, so assume that's common. Drinks on me when I get there. Right on, come on down. I heard a band last night playing late at night, but when I shut the door, I couldn't hear anything. It's been in this place, even though I'm just a couple of blocks from everything in El Centro, I really haven't heard anything like that. Any sports arenas around there, major league type sports, horse racing and bullfighting. I don't know if they have horse racing. I don't think they have bullfighting, but I'm sure they have a professional baseball team, surely a professional soccer team, and I would think they would have a professional basketball team. And I only say that because Mazatlan had all of that, and with a population 1/3 the size of Morelia. Okay, let's go back over here. Let's see what's going on. Michelle, hola, Michelle. Hi, Bill. Glad you made it safely to Morelia. When is the best time to visit Morelia? I think about any time. I'm going to say any time would be good. It's going to be a bit more chilly. Pull up, go to Google and do a Morelia weather, 12-month Morelia weather, Fahrenheit, if you're comfortable with Fahrenheit. And look at the temperatures year round. And from what David, who is in the chat with us right now, said, he said that sometimes in the winter times, it might go down to 39 degrees, but it's going to go up to like 72, maybe 80 in the daytime. So you might have to put on a couple of hoodies in the late evening. If you're uncomfortable with that, maybe the winter time is not a good time to come. I don't mind if I can walk around. It's 72 degrees outside. In the daytime, I'm good to go. I can throw on some hoodies at night. Right now, the weather is great. They have, and also I'm just learning. I'm just learning about Morelia, and I'll be sharing information as I go. But the taxi driver, my DD driver yesterday was telling me about many festivals that they have in Morelia. One festival they have coming up in the fall, I think. They have they have a cinema festival, and he says people come from all over the world to watch these movies. I've never heard of that, but I'd say just look up festivals and times. But the great thing about also, when you check out the weather, there's a rainy season and not a rainy season. And it's rained about every day that I've been here thus far. But it hasn't been bad. Like right now, it's sunny. It might rain this evening, whatever. There you go. Terry Don Marshall, let's talk soon. Very good. We'll have to hook up. We can do that. Okay. That's a touchdown you made. No eye contact. Okay. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Dominique, I've learned in my travels that temperament of groups of people in general varies with the climate. More reserved in cooler areas and more outgoing and friendlier in warmer climates. Very interesting. Very interesting. How many hours by car from the international airport? Good question. I have no idea. From the bus station to here was like 15 minutes. I've never been to the airport here. Look it up on the map and or just do a search for that in Google. I still have some images over here. So here's what the Airbnb looks like inside. You can see my laptop, that place. That's where I'm broadcasting from right now. There's the kitchen, the big screen television. The open door is the room that I'm sleeping in. There's my desktop that I have not set up yet. Fully furnished with everything, nice and clean, nice and new. Shower, very nice bathroom, there's my 3 bags of luggage with everything that I own, king size bed. Yep, little desk with another big screen television. This is the Airbnb that I'm staying at now. Ooh, very nice, very nice. And this is a little deck on the back of the Airbnb with a nice sliding door. I'm surprised, as nice as this place is, there's no screen. They don't have screens here. But very nice. Oh, okay. And once in the early evening, once I got all of my computer equipment all set up in the kitchen, here's how it looks. Getting ready to go for my Saturday broadcast. Got my iMac, my PowerBook, getting ready to set up the lights, getting all this ready for Saturday morning so I can go live, broadcasting live from Morelia, Mexico. Woo! There you go, folks. That's what's happening. Here we go. Okay. see any American license plates anywhere around there yet. I have yet to see any American license plates here. I haven't been looking. How much was your Airbnb per night? It was $66 a night. Between late November to about early February the 10th. Okay. Are you going to finish that off for us, David? What did that mean? How long will you stay there? I have a contract right now for 1 year, and for me, for me doing these videos, it's a great place because Morelia is so in the center of Mexico, so I can visit so many more places that will be. I mean, if I stayed on the West Coast, Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, then, I mean, just to come here is like 20 hours, 15, 20 hours on the bus. So, and that's to find the really good place. God forbid I would want to go to Merida and the Yucatan Peninsula where there were really good stuff over there. So unless I find somewhere much better, and I've been around a fair amount, I may spend the rest of my life here, but the next apartment, I have a 1 year contract. Axel Foley, for a small town, I'm surprised Morelia has Dooman. But Morelia has 1 million people. I mean, that's the size of my hometown, Columbus, Ohio. El Centro is a little different. A lot of people are from other Latin American countries. When you start walking in your neighborhood, you will see differently. Okay, very good. Very good. Gin and juice, sip tequila straight. Quality tequila is nothing like the junk knob. Okay. Yeah. And James is a tequila aficionado. Let's go over here. For a small town, I'm surprised to see so many American fast food joints. It's not really a small town. 1 million people is a lot of people. That's like 3 times bigger than Mazatlan. That's like twice as big as Puerto Vallarta. Mexicans like American fast food. And once you get to a certain population level, I mean, where I was yesterday to go to the bank, I saw a lot of fast food places or American chain restaurants, whatever. And you don't have to go to them. And I let me think about this. I never go. I notice them. Little Caesar's Pizza to me is like Taco Bell. Like Taco Bell sounds good when you're thinking about it until you eat that first bite, and every bite after that tastes like chemicals. That's kind of how Little Caesar's Pizza is, right? You look at it, oh, that looked good, and then you take that first bite, and after that, it all tastes like chemicals. So I just don't go. I cook at home. That's what I do. I eat at home. Woo, that works for me. David, sorry. Between late November and about early February, the temperature can get down in the mid to high 30s. November to February. There you go. But it's going to be warm every day. That's the selling point. North of the border. Nah, that's funny. Thank you for sharing that with us, James and Rena. Ant-Man, did the landlord want references or guarantor? That's an Ant-Man. That is an excellent question. And for those of you that are watching the rebroadcast, and if you would like to donate to the channel, there's a link in the description below, and it says donate. And if you're watching the rebroadcast, you can click the donate button. And that will take you into PayPal. You don't even have to use PayPal. Once you click the donate button, you can use PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, or American Express. That's how we fund our trips, rent our Airbnbs, and get on the road, buy video equipment, and all that kinds of stuff. Now, did the landlord ask for references? They asked for 2. I just gave him 1, which was my last landlord, who's fabulous. I always paid her right on time. And so he took 1, and then a guarantor, someone to sign for me. And this is funny because he had this pre-made contract. He just changed the dates. And they were telling, I don't know, they were saying that it's some law that if you're renting that you have to have someone sign to guarantee your rent. And there was a place for my signature. And then there was a place for the signature of the guarantee. And this is what they told me. They said, okay, now you need the guarantor. You need to sign here. And then you need to have someone that you know who lives here sign to be your guarantor. But they said, but we like you, we trust you, so you just sign to be the guarantor. So I had to sign like that 2 times on the contract. So I'm the person signing the contract and I'm the guarantor. So I had to sign the contract as the guarantor 2 times. Whatever. The last place I rented, I needed 3 references. This time I needed 1 reference. When I had my place in Puerto Vallarta for 5 years, they wanted 3 references. Let me think about this. So the place in Puerto Vallarta, those were Americans I was renting from. This place and the last place both were Mexicans. Okay, now, Matt, Bill, is your daily morning walk going to be relatively flat, or does it look a little hilly? Matt, I'm glad you asked that question because this, where I live, is on a hill. So, it's where I live. It's kind of flat for about 5 blocks, maybe 6 blocks where I live, but then to get down to where the stuff is, which is like 4 blocks down the hill, is kind of intense. It's not super intense, but it's somewhat intense. So yeah, my morning walk will change. It will not be a flat walk, which will be good. And I must say, this week, what is today? When did I leave? I think I walked Monday and Tuesday of last week. Today's Saturday, but I missed Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I'll be able to pick up. I'll start my walk again Tuesday. I'll take some videos when I'm walking. I'll share with you what the walk is like. But walking, and then when I start going to Oxo or to the little tiendas, those are all like downhill, at least 1 block. So it's going to be excellent between my walks and walking to the markets and just looking around. I will be walking up some little street hills. And let me say, I know that I'll be walking down like 4 or 5 blocks, but then I'll just walk down, buy my stuff. I can go to like Walmart or the big grocery stores, and I'll just take DD back. I can get back here on DD for like $2. Okay, now, a small town, what small? Yeah, this is not a small town for sure. This is a world-class city. This is a world-class city, James and Rena. First of all, James and Rena, I just want to say truly, I'm so happy to hear from you guys. And I'm glad you're doing well as always. Gin and Juice, when you come down, check out a tequila tasting. you will be converted to a tequila drinker. Ooh. Are there American expats around there much? There are, if you go to Facebook and look up expats in Morelia, I think you will find 2 or 3 expat groups here. But it's not like Mazatlan or Ajijic or Chapala. Very different than that. And let me say, I forget when did I get here? I have not seen. I've been out and about. I was at a mall yesterday. Saw a lot of people. I've seen hundreds, maybe thousands of people. I have not seen any Americans, and that's why I moved here. I've not seen any Americans, any Canadians, but the new landlord, Israel, they said that they have had many Americans stay in the building where I'm staying now, though I don't think there are any staying there right now. And they said that they knew American expat groups and that they could introduce me to those groups. So yes, there are expats here, but the number I don't think is really high. Hugh, thanks for checking in and saying hello and letting us know that you have arrived. Thank you so much. Do you enjoy seafood? I love seafood. I love king crab legs. I love king crab legs with some hot butter and some salt. Yeah, give me some of that. And especially if you make the king crab legs with butter. In gumbo. I know how to make excellent king crab leg gumbo. Yeah, I can do that. Oh, yeah. I love lobster. I love East Coast lobster. When I lived in the Midwest and the East Coast, specifically New Hampshire and Boston, you go to a lobster shop. You can see they have the lobster in an aquarium. They're alive, and you pick them out and take them home with you, and they walk all around you. You can give them names and then eat them. I love real sushi. I have never found any real sushi in Mexico, but I love sushi in San Francisco. Raw tuna, raw salmon. Oh, and catfish, freshly caught and breaded catfish and bluegill. I love me some seafood. Matt Brazelton, thank you so much, my man in Ajijic, for contributing to the channel. Ken Art, what? Oh, wait a minute. Ken Art. Ken Art. First of all, Ken Art, thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. But thank you so much. And let me answer this question. But I have a question for you that is very important. What outdoor recreational activities are popular near Morelia? City slicking gets old. Mexicans do it all. I'm just going to say that. They got it all. You want tennis, you want pickleball, you want golf, you want hiking, any type of activity they got going on in the United States. They got going on in Morelia for sure. They got it all. Gyms, the landlord yesterday, he big buff guy, big buff. Oh, my Airbnb owner, big buff guy. Both of them young buff guys. They got it all down here. Now, Ken Art, my question for you is, let me turn that off. My very important question for you is, can you please email me? Because over the last month and a half, we as a group have talked a little bit about the business that you do. And And this week, somebody left a comment and they said, hey, can you give me Ken Art's email address so I can ask him about how he does that business? So if you could email me, then I would have your email, and then I can give your email to this person only with your approval, so that, because he wants to learn about the business that you are in, because he is very interested in doing the same. Okay, so let's turn that off. This person asked me that question about, when was that? It was maybe 4 or 5 days, maybe last week. Okay, now here we go. The Yucatan is way too hot for me to live. Heat, floods, hurricanes. Not my idea of paradise, but I would visit UVC or Hyatt Resorts because I'm paying for membership. Yeah, I don't like the heat. No. I tell you, I'm so happy to be away from the heat and humidity. No, and I'm not going back. William Stoneman. Morelia El Centro is very flat for walking, no cobblestones. And William Mustache Stoneman is so right. In El Centro, it's very flat, no cobblestones, very easy to get around, and it's huge. It's huge, and it just goes on and on and on, and the plaza is fabulous, and they must have like 50 restaurants on the plaza, and all of them have like little outdoor seating situations, and you're out there in the nice fresh air, flat, and all these museums, and it's super wonderful. And William Mustache Stoneman, he's traveled throughout Mexico. He knows Mexico very well. Dominique, hilly walks are great exercise. Looking forward to it. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to, and I'm looking forward to getting used to walking hills. And the more you do it, the more it doesn't matter. And they say each hill you walk adds another couple of days to your life. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay, buenos pensamientos. How is water availability in Morelia? There's lots of water here. Lots of water. You can have all the water you want. Dave James, thank you so much, Dave James, for contributing to the channel. Katrina the Maker, is Morelia famous for anything? Yeah, I did a video on Morelia about a year ago. I'd have to look it up. I'm sure they're famous for a lot of things. And over the next, I'm going to say 2 or 3 weeks, I'll be getting out in the street. I'll be doing my research. I researched it very well. A year ago, I've forgotten a lot, and I've spent a lot of time recently just getting moved. So let me look into that. I'm sure a lot of famous people from here, and inventions, a lot of agriculture and business. So let me look into that. Thank you, Katrina the Maker. Kim J, thank you so much for contributing to the channel. I hope your life is all getting a bit more simple. All that you've been through with the experiences that you've been having with your family. Thank you so much for contributing to the channel to help us move our computer equipment around the country, for us to be able to stay in this fine Airbnb, for us to research future videos and get high-speed internet for our next new apartment. Thank you so much. James and Rena, start with James knows his tequila. Starting with aged tequila, Americans like this because they are usually aged in bourbon barrels and are a tad sweeter and smoother. James, thank you for that wonderful tip. Ant-Man, you will love Michoacan. The food is great. I used to import copper items. Something just happened on the phone. Oh, okay. I used to import copper items from nearby Santa Clara up from Colorado. Make sure to see the monarch butterfly migration. Yes. Oh, and Katrina the Maker. I know you've heard about the monarch butterflies. That is one thing that Morelia is famous for. Morelia is surrounded by 8 magical towns, they call them, in Mexico. 8 magical towns. And the butterfly town, I don't know the name of it right now, is one of those towns. And I can't wait to see that. Do you cook your seafood in beer? I've never done it. I tried it. I tried it a couple of times. It sounded like a good idea, but I never saw any really good effect. Just give me some. I need some roux mix and some Old Bay seasoning. Old Bay. I'd rather use Old Bay than beer. Okay, William Mustache Stoneman, we didn't see any expats. Brush up on your Spanish, but most Uber drivers speak a little bit of English. We didn't have any problems communicating. Yeah, brush up on your Spanish. And I tell you what, I am so happy with the level of Spanish that I speak. The Airbnb owner, I started talking to him in Spanish when we first connected, getting the trip together. What Airbnb did I want? That whole thing. We started out in Spanish, but the more we talked Spanish, then he wanted to throw in some English, and then we would go back and forth. And these conversations are very strange because Mexicans that speak English want to practice their English. So they start throwing in some English just to see if it's like, oh, what do I know? Can I do it? Can I do it? And it goes back and forth. That's the Airbnb guy. The landlord that I just signed a contract with, one of them speaks fluent English, and the other guy, he started out speaking no English. So I was speaking total Spanish to him. And if we needed interpretation, the other guy would come in with an English, But I was with those two guys for like an hour and a half. An hour and a half. Oh, then the guy that didn't speak any English, he started speaking English after about an hour and 15 minutes. He started speaking some English. So lots of people speak some English, and the more you warm up to them, they will. Okay, now, I can't eat shellfish, but you can get some really fresh seafood here. Yeah, and I like when I make gumbo. Oh, other seafood that I like is mussels. I love mussels, and when I make gumbo, I like to put in mussels and shrimp and king crab legs, put some rice in there with some Old Bay. Yeah, shrimp. Yeah, there you go. Right. Yeah, right. Okay. That's great to know. Okay, now you're making me homesick. I'm from San Francisco and miss fresh seafoods. Dungeness crab, salmon, and fresh sushi. Okay. Okay. La Dolce Vita. Yes, I lived in the Bay Area for 5 years. And I would go to, I had a Jewish girlfriend for 3 years. She was rich. And she would take me to one of the the sushi places. It's the weirdest place in San Francisco. It's a sushi restaurant, and they have these boat canals in the restaurant, and you sit these little canals. They're about 2 feet wide. They go throughout the restaurant, and these little boats go by, and you sit in front of them with your dinner plate, and all the little boats in the canal have sushi. And when you see the sushi that you want, you reach out and grab the sushi off the boat and put it on the plate and eat it. That was the best sushi I've had in my life. And La Dolce Vita, I'm making many trips to Half Moon Bay to buy. Well, I think one time we bought like a 15-pound lobster at Half Moon Bay. Woo-wee. Yeah, baby. or die 3,000. Good morning, Bill. We boil crabs and crawfish in crab boil here in New Orleans. It's a game changer. And crabs, my mother lived in Maryland, and she used to go out and go buy a bucket of crabs and cook them up. And we'd smash them, put on our bibs, and chow them down. It's a little too much work for me. Axel Foley, I wonder what the nightlife is like, where you can chill, listen to some jazz, and have some food and drink. I'm sure it's all here. I'm not really a big nightlife guy personally. I go to bed pretty early. Miss Sam, I never had to add a guaranteer. But I have a very beautiful apartment. Oh, and Miss Sam's, as long as I've been down here, I've never had to have anybody sign for me to get an apartment. Never, ever. And I have a very beautiful apartment in an upscale neighborhood where you see only Mercedes-Benz, Audis, and BMWs. My rent is only 9,000 pesos, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. That's wonderful. Super wonderful. When I go apartment hunting, I have to get Miss Sam to help. She's brilliant and she's wonderful to talk to. I walk at least 4 miles a day. I love to walk. I walk everywhere I go in Morelia. Good for you. Char, Old Bay is a must. Try steaming it with beer and let us know what you think. Okay, I got to find the Old Bay. Miss Sam, I never saw a gringo here. That's why I love living here. I don't want to deal with gringos. Oh, well, Miss Sam, tell us how you really feel, right? Okay. That sushi restaurant in San Francisco sounds a little like conveyor belt sushi in Japan, making me hungry. Yeah. Woo, Morelia doesn't have tourist shops. Not many tourists in El Centro. And William Mustache Stoneman, you're so right. I call them, you're funny because you put tourist in quotations. I call them junk shops for tourists, like keychains, it says Morelia, hats, T-shirts, scarves, all the all. I think they have more junk shops in San Francisco than they do in Morelia. And they had a bunch of it in Mazatlan. You just walk down any street, it's junk. But you see I've seen much fewer than Mazatlan or Puerto Vallarta. And Guadalajara, they don't even play that in Guadalajara. I don't have junk shops there. Okay, let's keep on cruising. Jim Foster Real Estate, congratulations on your move to Morelia. I went to a restaurant in San Francisco with my old girlfriend in the 90s with the sushi boats down by Union Square. Yeah, that's a freaking trip, and it's so freaking good. Ken Art. Whenever I'm in Mexico, I always get the whole fried red snapper. Okay, I'll look. Okay, I'll look. I'm gonna look for that. The whole fried red snapper. Okay, Ken Art. Okay, Ken Art. I'm on the lookout. Uh, oh yeah. I do really love fresh seafood. Okay, you guys. Well, I'm here. I made it safe. Moving to my new apartment Monday morning at 11 o'clock. I'm going to put up, I haven't put up any videos this week. I'm going to put up a couple of videos this week. I'm going to put up, I'm going to put up a video on my bus ride here this week. And another video. I'll go live next Saturday. I'll have a video about my apartment. I'll be broadcasting live from my new apartment. It's not as nice as this, okay, but it's cheaper, and so I'll be broadcasting live next week, and then over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll be getting my life back together. I'm in a new city, learning new things. What videos will I do immediately in Morelia? What cities will I venture to outside of Morelia? Getting all of that planned. But I tell you what, I've been laying in bed, waking up, just thinking, where am I? I tell you what, traveling and moving around, and you're here one day, you're here the next day, and using these keys today and those keys tomorrow, and opening this door, and here one day your bathroom is over here. And then all your light switches get changed. Woo, wow, yeah, man. So anyway, I'll just be getting my head together. But we will be going live. No idea what I'll be broadcasting about next week, but I'm getting ready to go. Here we go now. Oh, okay. Now, Dominique. Yeah, that sounds good to me too, girl. That sounds good to me. Ceviche is a famous dish in Yucatan. Almost everybody was eating that almost everywhere I went. And ceviche is famous everywhere I've been in Mexico. I'm going to say ceviche is everywhere in Mexico. It's not one of my favorite dishes. I'm not into it. I don't want it. I don't want it. It's like squid. Oh, it's like octopus. I don't want to eat octopus. I'm not going to eat it. Especially after I saw this documentary about how smart octopuses are. But I don't like the taste. I don't like the taste of squid. I leave it alone. And that's how I feel about ceviche. But I'm very boring. I only eat chocolate and vanilla ice cream. But all that fruity tooty stuff, I don't eat any of that stuff. Yeah. But ceviche, no. Char Williams, I was so looking forward to your first Morelia broadcast, and you didn't disappoint. Thank you. Thank you very much, Char. Thank you. Thank you very much. What city will you feature next? Even seen Las Grutas. Just wild. What city will I have no idea what the next city will be that I venture to. I will be looking at the map. Jamie, anytime. Jamie, anytime. Okay, let me back up here. Okay. Thank you very much, Jamie. Thank you very much. Autumn Green, Ms. Sam, where in M are you? She's in Morelia. Ms. Sam is in Morelia. She is in my city. And Ms. Sam, Ms. Sam, thank you very much. Ms. Sam just gave me, that's like 100 pesos. Also, thank you so much, Ms. Sam. Greatly appreciated. My new neighbor, Ken Art, Bill. Okay. My email is in the chat. It was 115 here in Southern Cal yesterday. That's crazy. That is crazy, crazy, crazy hot. All right. Marlin seems to be popular here in Guadalajara. Yeah, I've eaten marlin there. There's a fish that I can't remember. Okay. I went to an octopus research center in the Big Island in Hawaii. I've been there. I don't want to eat those things. So gross to me. Some people love them. Autumn Green. Avenida Universidad. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, I want to thank everybody for showing up. I want to thank you just for showing up, being here, sharing your questions, sharing your tips for things that I didn't know, for the questions that people have, like, getting a Mexico bank, or where should you do, all kinds of things that I don't know. But thanks for everybody sharing love with one another. It's been great. Thanks for clicking the like button. We had a record number of people in the house. We were up to like 115 people. We have 70 likes right now. And people have contributed so I can pay my rent for another month. I greatly appreciate that. So I'll be back. We do this every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. We do this every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. I'll be getting my head together over the next week. Hopefully I can share some information next week. So that's all I got to say. Let's see now. Let's catch up on who's talking. Angela, I'm very happy to have you here with us. Close to Plaza U, Sebastian. Pazzachuaro is a nice place to visit, 45 minutes. One of the taxi drivers just told me about that. Let me keep that in mind. Brian Maiden, thanks for contributing to the channel, Brian. As always, great Saturday morning. Hope to get settled, start enjoying the city. Hope all in the house have a great weekend. Yeah, thank you. See you all next week. Peace and love. Very important stuff. Thank you, Bill. So glad you're liking Morelia and looking forward. Thank you so much, Dominique. Mil gracias. That means 1,000 thank yous, Bill. Great show today. Love you, man. Thank you very much. In Kansas City. Susan, wishing you the best, Bill, and have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks, everybody. Hope everyone works out. I hope everything works out in your new apartment. Thank you very much. Hasta luego todo. Thanks, Bill. Everyone is very welcome, very welcome. I'm getting ready to hit the road and click some buttons here. Make sure I showed all my video clips. Anyway, this is Bill the Geek. I'm signing off. This is Bill the Geek. I want to thank everybody for coming. Thanks. We have much love for all of you. All I can say is this is Bill the Geek broadcasting for the first time from Morelia, Mexico. And this is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. And we make videos about the joys of living in Mexico. So to everyone, I say, hasta luego, adios, y que te vaya bien.